Hello, so our presentation focuses on the terrestrial part of the Channel Islands. And my name is Stacey, and I'll be presenting the introductory overview and background of the Channel Islands. The Channel Islands are actually located 5 islands off the coast of Southern California, in addition to the English Channel off of the Normandy coast of France. And we may examine the presence of a Mediterranean biome, which is actually one of the rarest biomes on Earth. Okay. So the Channel Islands are an 8-island archipelago located on the Pacific Ocean off the coast of California. They are split into 2 groups, the northern and the southern Channel Islands. That includes, for the southern channel, Santa Barbara, Santa Catalina, San Nicolas, and San Clemente. And then the northern Channel Islands include San Miguel, Santa Cruz, Santa Rosa, and Anacapa. Although only 5 of the islands, which are the San Miguel, Santa Rosa, Santa Cruz, Anacapa, and Santa Barbara, were included in creating the Channel Islands National Park in 1980. Moving on, the Mediterranean biome is accompanied with rainy weathers and dry summers, which climate factors include moderate temperatures due to the presence of large bodies of water and fog. While the Channel Islands are located at low elevations, it actually also does snow, which is really weird and cool, but rarely on the higher mountain peaks. So the Channel Islands consist of several biologically diverse ecotypes on the planet, which we will actually go more in depth later on in the presentation, but there are 271 endemic plant taxa, in which 44 single island endemic species and 37 endemic to Anacapa, Santa Cruz, Santa Rosa, and San Miguel. So the Channel Islands are really known for its diverse flora and fauna, and you can spot some of which I included the images on here. First, there is the spotted skunk, which I find very cute, and then the Garibaldi fish, giant black sea bass, and the Catalina island fox. So moving on, there are also some flora examples that I included, which are the wild hyacinths, which is also referred to as the blue dicks, and then the Santa Cruz Island ironwood presented on Santa Cruz, Santa Rosa, and San Clemente, and then also the Santa Cruz Island buckwheat. And more so regarding the abiotic and biotic factors of the Channel Islands, I do want to emphasize that abiotic refers to the non-living elements of an ecosystem, whereas biotic refers to the living organisms of the ecosystem, which include animals, fungi, plants, etc. And some of the abiotic factors include the dry soil, and then winds blowing from 5 to 15 miles per hour, the large abundance of sunlight, and then the moderate amounts of rainfall, but somewhat increased intensities during the wintertime. And some of the biotic factors include the bat rays, which is shown on the second image to the right, in the San Clemente Island, and then the California moray eel, which is really cute in the picture right there, and then the Spanish shawl nudibranch, which is a type of colorful sea slug. And so now to further explain the several species and their impacts and specific adaptations in the Channel Islands, here's Vanishka.
Because of their isolation and remote nature, the Channel Islands support fewer native animal species than similar habitats on mainland. An example is the San Clemente loggerhead shrike. They're predatory songbirds with strong hooked bills they use to kill and dismember prey. They utilize ecotones, grasslands, and other open habitats with scattered shrubs and trees and bare ground as primary habitat and breeding territories. Another example is island spotted skunk, mainly found on the Santa Rosa Island, and they live in hills and steep canyons covered by grasses, chaparrals, coastal sage, and scrub oak throughout Santa Rosa and Santa Cruz Island. Third example is island night lizard. They're the most morphologically distinct of the endemic vertebrates on the Channel Island, indicating that they have been isolated from the mainland for a long time. They prefer boxthorn, prickle pear cactus, and cracks around rock outcrops and surface boulders. Final example is island fox. They only live on 6 of the 8 Channel Islands and are found nowhere else on Earth. Each island population is recognized as separate endemic or unique subspecies. They prefer shrubby or wooded areas such as chaparral, coastal scrubs, and oak woodlands. With the endemic species, we also have our invasive species, which are living organisms that are not native to Channel Islands and can cause harm to the environment. Plants and animals living on islands are especially vulnerable to extinction due to the physical boundaries, limited population, and lack of genetic variability. An example is yellow star thistle, and which can form dense, impenetrable stands that threaten natural ecosystems by displacing population of native plants and animals. Because its seeds are very prolifically and easily stick on people and equipment, it is difficult to control and spreads quickly. Another example is olive trees. They spread dramatically and alter native plant communities and displace native species by competing for light availability. A third example is Italian stone pine, and before control efforts were started, birds had spread it into plant communities, and stone pines produce a large amount of seed and can quickly spread and dominate native plant communities. Final example is rats. They threaten critical breeding habitats for rare seabirds such as Scripps murrelet and a state-listed threatened species. And they also prey upon native deer mice, reptiles, insects, interdial invertebrates, and plants. Channel Islands are very important because they preserve some of the finest remnants of coastal Mediterranean types of ecosystem, a rare combination of climate and vegetation that exists in only 5 places in the world. The islands are noted for their distinctive plant and animal life, for instance, the giant Corpiosis or sunflower tree and the endemic island gray fox. The island fox population decline was attributed to the predation by gold eagles, and they're federally listed as endangered, and has a home in the Channel Islands. Of the 271 endemic plant taxa, 44 are a single island endemic, and 37 are endemic to the 4 northern islands, such as Ancapa, Santa Cruz, Santa Rosa, and San Miguel. Santa Cruz Island is home to 60 of the 145 endemic species found on island, like the island scrub jay. This island is one of the 39 reserves in the University of California Natural Reserve System and is co-owned by National Park Service and the Nature Conservancy. This helps create opportunities for further research and development of preservation plans for endangered species. Now, Zoe will talk about the importance of the channels to the perspective of impacts of population.
Hello, this is Zoe Burkhardt. The importance of the Channel Islands, impacts of pollution. In 1969, an oil spill in the Santa Barbara Channel, close to the Channel Islands, resulted in 200,000 gallons of crude oil being spilled into the ocean. Spreading over 800 square miles of water, it reached the northern Channel Islands, killing thousands of marine life and birds. Around the same time, California brown pelicans, which breed in areas of the Channel Islands, were unable to successfully reproduce due to the impact of pesticides on the shells of the brown pelican eggs. DDT, an organochloride pesticide, has since been found to cause eggshell thinning, high amounts of which cause eggs to break easily. Such was the cause for the brown pelicans of the Channel Islands starting in the 50s, and caused a huge decline in their population until the issue was found and addressed in the early 70s. Iconic images of the Santa Barbara oil spill and the crushing effects of DDT on pelican eggs helped spawn the environmental movement of the 1970s. As a result, the Channel Islands became a symbol of the earth which humans were directly destroying and became an area to protect. Indigenous populations of the Channel Islands. The Channel Islands have been populated by people for thousands of years. In fact, human remains from over 13,000 years ago were found on Santa Rosa Island, one of the oldest human remains found in North America. A bit of human femur dated to the end of the Pleistocene, when the Channel Islands were still one massive island, and the earth was much colder. This femur, called the Arlington Springs Man, is very well known, and is now presumed to actually have been the Arlington Springs Woman. Many indigenous populations have resided on the islands, primarily the Chumash people. These people survived off of the ocean which surrounded them, and made their way between the islands with their boats called tomol. Pictured on the bulletin board are these tomol boats, as well as some of the huts the Chumash people resided in. During the colonization of California, the Channel Islands were claimed by the Spanish, and over the course of the next few centuries used as farm and cattle lands primarily. Many sections of the U.S. Army have also been stationed on the islands after California's statehood in 1850, but only the U.S. Navy still resides there. It is also important to note that some of the islands do have people residing there permanently, either for tourism or to take care of the national park on the islands. Existing California state symbols. Because of the Channel Islands' distance from the mainland, they have many of their own unique species, which are often subspecies of mainland ones, which was discussed before, so I won't go into it too much. However, the island is home to many species, some of which are state symbols. The California poppy, the state poppy, is present on 3 of the islands, San Miguel, Santa Rita, and Santa Cruz. Purple nitagrass, the state grass, is found on all 5 islands. Here's a bonus for you. These aren't state symbols, however, the country bird, the bald eagle, can be found on the Channel Islands. And mammoth remains have also been found on the Channel Islands, which isn't any sort of symbol, it's just cool. Here are some of our references and sources. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and have a good day.